This video is brought to you by hoodbeast.com. Design your own custom hoodies. hoodbeast.com.
Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee. Add on another team to the list of teams that Kyrie Irving is supposedly interested in playing for. Reports came out yesterday that Uncle Drew wants to play for LA. Of course he does. Every major player, either that's available in trade or free agency, always wants to play for the Lakers. That's always reported. LeBron James, Paul George, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, DeMarcus Cousins, Luol Deng. This is nothing new. Oh, but it is. See, Kyrie Irving isn't interested in playing for that LA. He doesn't want the sister that everyone wants in the Lakers. No. Kyrie Irving wants the slightly less attractive stepsister with the lazy eye. Kyrie Irving wants the Los Angeles Clippers. I'm told Kyrie wants to play for the Clippers. That's the team I was told he wants to play for. He loves LA. He's been working out a lot there this summer. First off, I just want to say that almost every player in the NBA either trains in LA or New York during the offseason. Those two places just have some of the best facilities for training in the country, so that really doesn't mean anything. And the person who suggested this whole Kyrie to the Clippers thing was Peter Vesey. He was a former NBA TV analyst, but like all of these claims, we kind of have no idea if that's what Kyrie Irving actually wants to do. Peter also said that he knows Kyrie Irving really likes Jerry West, who now works with the Los Angeles Clippers, so that has a big reason to do with it. He likes what West has done with teams in the past and how basically every franchise he works with starts winning rings. I mean, you look at the Lakers back in the early 2000s. West was the one responsible for the Lakers both getting Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. And after that, in 2002, he went to the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies didn't win a ring or a championship, but he did cause them to win their first ever playoff berth as a franchise. And then his most recent project was the Golden State Warriors, and we all know how that is working out right now. So maybe Jerry West can work some magic with the Los Angeles Clippers, and Kyrie Irving wants to be a part of it. And it's also been reported that the Clippers have already made an offer for Kyrie Irving. Now, of course, the offer didn't go through. This happened a few weeks ago, and if the offer was good enough, the Cavs would have taken it, but they didn't take it, so I'm guessing it wasn't good enough. And that's the whole thing with the Los Angeles Clippers. Can they actually make a good enough offer for Kyrie Irving? You look at their roster and the main thing you see is DeAndre Jordan. That's the piece that teams will most likely have the most interest in. So you think to yourself, all right, maybe you could do like a Kyrie Irving and Tristan Thompson for DeAndre Jordan swap. However, the problem with that is that the Cavs are also looking for some young players as well. They say this, that they want young players and assets for Kyrie Irving in exchange. DeAndre Jordan is a great player, but he's not necessarily considered a young player or like a huge asset going forward for the organization. So I don't think a Kyrie Irving to Los Angeles Clippers trade is possible without the help of a third team, a three-team trade. I thought of a couple of teams that could possibly help out in this trade. The first one would be the Boston Celtics. When it comes to young assets, there's not a team out there with more of them than the Boston Celtics. And one of the biggest things the Boston Celtics need is a big man who can protect the rim and grab some rebounds. That is what DeAndre Jordan gets paid for. It gets paid to rebound and gets paid to block some shots. He'll be a perfect fit for the Boston Celtics. So you think the Celtics get DeAndre Jordan, the Cavs get one of their young assets, and the Clippers get Kyrie. But the problem is I still think the Cavs want more than just one young asset for Kyrie Irving. I'm not sure the Celtics would be willing to give up more than that, since all they'd be getting back is DeAndre Jordan. And we've already seen the Celtics' unwillingness to trade some of these assets so far this summer. Other than that, there's a couple other things, like I'm sure the Clippers want Tristan Thompson from the Cavs as well to try and fill in the void that DeAndre Jordan left. And while the Cavs would probably wanted to get rid of Tristan Thompson, and they did, they wouldn't have a starting center, so there are some holes in that possible trade scenario. However, the other one I want to talk about, the other trade partner that could make perfect sense, would be the Phoenix Suns. Imagine a trade where the Suns give up Eric Bledsoe, Dragon Bender, Tyson Chandler, and a future first-round pick to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs send Kyrie and Tristan Thompson to the Clippers, and the Suns get DeAndre Jordan and perhaps some future first-round rounders from the Clippers would either go to the Cavs or Suns as well. That's another scenario in which every team gets exactly what they want. The Suns have been interested in DeAndre Jordan for a while. Matter of fact, two teams, the Suns and the Clippers, were talking about a possible DeAndre Jordan trade dating back to the NBA draft. The only thing is that the Clippers wanted the Suns pick in the draft and the Suns didn't want to give it up, so the trade talks died down because of that. However, now the Suns will get to keep their pick or the player that used it on in Josh Jackson and still get DeAndre Jordan from the Clippers, and the Clippers get the guy they want in Kyrie Irving, and the Cavs get a bunch of young assets plus a guy in Eric Bledsoe who is great friends with LeBron and will help them stay competitive this year. So that trade really does kind of work out for everyone. Kyrie to the Clippers is possible with the help of a third team. And I'm sure both teams are looking into all possible options, looking at every single angle, trying to make something work out. But just remember that the Cavs do not owe it to Kyrie Irving to trade him to the team he wants to be traded to. They're still just gonna trade him to whatever team makes the best package. I think Kyrie Irving will be traded in about a month right before training camp starts, because once again, they cannot bring that man to the Cleveland Cavaliers training facilities. It won't work out. So a trade with Kyrie Irving might happen within a month or so, but a trade that might take a little longer than that to go down, I'm talking about not to the trade deadline or maybe not even at all, would be Carmelo Anthony to the Houston Rockets. News has still been coming out about this trade every single day. I just chose not to report on it. For the most part, it's all been the same. Two sides and off and on conversation. At this point, I'm pretty sure it's going something like this. Houston Rockets pick up the phone, call the New York Knicks, say, we'll give you Ryan Anderson for Carmelo Anthony, take it or leave it. The Knicks say, why would we do that? We'd have to pay Ryan Anderson the same amount of money we're paying Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is a better player. We might as well keep Carmelo. What else you got to offer? The Rockets say, that's it. That's all we got. And the trade discussion dies down from there because the Knicks aren't willing to do that. And then a couple days later, the Houston Rockets pick up the phone again and call the New York Knicks. We'll give you Ryan Anderson for Carmelo Anthony. The Knicks are like, we already said no to that. And the Rockets like, all right, fine. I'll talk to you later. A couple days later, the process repeats itself. And I think the Rockets are just going to keep planning to do this until the Knicks get so tired of them calling that they're like, you know what, fine. We'll do it. We'll take Ryan Anderson for Carmelo Anthony. You happy? I'm pretty sure that's the whole Rockets-Knicks trade discussions in a nutshell. And it seems like it actually might be kind of working, because now the New York Knicks are pleading with Carmelo Anthony to let them trade him somewhere else, anywhere else. Check this out. Knicks reportedly asked Carmelo Anthony to expand his wish list. They are desperate not to have to do a trade with the Houston Rockets. The Knicks want to get at least a little something for Carmelo Anthony, something that makes them at least a little bit better right now, or that helps them out a little bit in the future. Trading for Ryan Anderson from the Rockets does neither of those two things. You know, there have been some other teams saying that they'd like to trade for Carmelo Anthony. DeMarcus Cousins recently made a lobbying pitch to Carmelo to come play for the Pelicans. However, Carmelo pretty much instantly said, nah, I'm straight, you good fam, I'm gonna stay right here or get traded to Houston rather than do that. So that one's kind of out the window. But the other one that still remains besides the Houston Rockets, kind of the Portland Trailblazers. And a report came out yesterday that said that Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum are still trying to recruit Carmelo Anthony to the Blazers and have been doing a good job of it, whatever that means. And all this came out right after a video of Carmelo Anthony and CJ McCollum on the same pickup team came out a couple of days ago. So yeah, this whole Carmelo Anthony situation is still well alive and kicking. Right now, he's still only willing to waive his no trade clause for the Houston Rockets. But if it gets closer to the trade deadline and the Knicks tell him, you know, we're not gonna be able to trade you to Houston, they don't have anything we want for you, he might be willing to waive his no trade clause for the Blazers. That being said though, I think this is the absolute last time the Knicks will ever give another player a no trade clause. Matter of fact, I'm sure all the other general managers and owners are looking at the situation and saying, we are never giving a player a no trade clause. But that's going to lead us to the question of the day. You guys think a Kyrie Irving to the Clippers trade is possible? If so, what would the trade look like? Let me know down in the comment section below. But now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, after Kevin Durant talked about some of the moves that other teams in the West made to get better this offseason, I asked you guys what team in the Western Conference would eventually beat the Warriors in the playoffs, and here is what you said. I think the Spurs will. Last year, they had an injured Kawhi Leonard, so we we didn't really get to see the Spurs play to their full potential. Question of the day, the only teams I can see dethroning the Warriors are either the Rockets through trades or free agency or the Timberwolves through time. The Rockets are very close to being the super team ranked the Cavs and the Warriors are at. If they can make at least one more move and pitch themselves another all-star caliber player, they might be able to dethrone them as soon as this season. Question of the day, the only team that can compete with the Warriors are the Spurs. Veteran players, veteran coach, best defender in the league, LaMarcus Aldridge, Rudy Gay, and more actually have a chance. Sounds crazy, but last year, Kawhi vs. Warriors, they looked good to win 1 to 2 games. Not saying they're gonna win that year, but they did nothing but improve. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they signed it to 6 or 7 or even 1. Spurs, Rockets, or Wolves in a few years. That's what the majority of you guys were saying, and I agree. The Warriors right now, of course, still the favorites to beat any of those teams, any team in the NBA in a 7-game series. But as long as all those teams that I just mentioned in the West are at full health come playoff time, I don't think the Warriors will have an easy time with any of them, and I don't think they're gonna sweep their way to the finals like they did last year. And who knows, maybe one of those teams can even pull off an upset. But that being said, if the Warriors do somehow sweep their way to the playoffs again next year, even though the West got better, I think it's time to just pack it up and wait for Father Time to do his thing, because at that point he is the only one that can stop the Golden State Warriors. Like always though, don't forget to leave your answer for today's question of the day down in the comment section below. But other than that, thank you once again for watching the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more daily NBA videos. Until tomorrow, keep getting the Bucks, Team STC, and I'm out of here.